Hi everyone, Mary Esther Miranda Gilbert here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome new people who have never been to my channel before. I'm a nutritional physiologist and I've been researching for 47 years, producing nutritional protocols, science evidence-based protocols from the scientists around the world, compiling data and putting them into individualized nutritional healing protocols for people for all manner of ailments for many, many years. And the success matches the science. So you know you're on the right track when you have those two things line up, right? So today I'm going to talk about blood sugar. I'm going to talk about the type 2 diabetes that some people out there have managed to reverse. Now, I've had clients who have experienced the same thing. It's not like type 1. Type 1 is completely different, but type 2 is the adult onset diabetes that many people who start gaining weight and start eating or eat the wrong things for many years, the body starts breaking down, and the organ, the pancreas, that helps regulate blood sugar is taxed and becomes more and more malfunctioning. So I'm going to present to you the scientific research that I've been sharing with people for many years. So this is based out of my True Health Mastery Institute of Holistic Personal Health Management, a newsletter called the True Health Journal. So I'm going to give the viewers, all of you out there, an overview, just to give you a taste of what I produce in the bi-monthly newsletter. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and get started. So what I'd like to point out to everyone is that maintaining the body's energy production capacity relies on the complete digestive breakdown of what are called the energy macronutrients. And those are the dietary food molecules that come from your protein, animal-derived protein. You have to make that distinction. And carbohydrates, whole food carbohydrates, none of this refined sugary stuff, and the right types of fats, whole food fats that are present in the healthy plant foods and also from animal-derived fats. So our cells, our trillions of cells in the body, we need these types of molecules, all three types: proteins, whole food carbohydrates, and whole food fats, in order to maintain the structure and pliability of every single cell of every single body system. So all of your organs, all of your tissues, all of your structures are composed of these microcells. So those of you who've been following my work, you already know this. But if you're new to this kind of concept, if you're looking for a way to improve your health, and today's topic being type 2 diabetes, then I'll show you what the scientists have found and what I have compiled for clients over the years in order to help them encourage their pancreas to produce the right types of hormones that regulate their blood sugars. So this is what this is going to be about tonight. So both the overprocessing and refining and adulteration, which means including other ingredients that are toxic, of carbohydrate foods, render them visually unrecognizable, and most importantly, severely altered, molecularly speaking, poorly usable substances that provide little to no energy production value, let alone any type of nutrients the body needs. So these are empty foods that have been just refined literally to death. All of the nutrients have been stripped, and the heat altering processes have completely changed their molecular structure. So they're no longer, nourishing, healthy food or sources of energy that your cells can use. So they tend to create all kinds of a cascade effect of malfunctions. So your body is very intricate, very intelligent. It takes all the molecules that you give it, your food, you digest your food, you break it down to the minute levels of these fundamental molecules. And so if there's nothing there that the body can use, then it tends to just store it as body fat. It accumulates in the arteries, so it can, just destroy the flexibility and pliability of your arteries. So you want to be very careful not to include these overly processed, refined, adulterated carbohydrate foods that are no longer in their original forms. So when the body is habitually inundated with these poor forms of carbs, your blood sugar levels rise. It overtaxes your pancreas' ability to bring those levels back to safe and proper balance, and it impairs the performing of all of your body's critical functions. So it's going to affect other systems. So to fuel all cellular work for the entire body, you want to make sure that you're well nourished, highly nourished, and properly nourished, providing the molecules your body can use. So without the right form of fuel, the systems begin to malfunction. They're leading to, it can lead to all these degenerating, downward spiraling health conditions. And the surface symptoms are things like fatigue, reduced mental functioning, inability to sleep, mood fluctuations. Is going to affect your hormonal system. So all kinds of systems are affected, and you'll see it in various types of symptoms. So proper carbohydrate nourishment includes the presence of the right balance of all of the energy macronutrients. So by all of the energy macronutrients, I'm talking about the animal-derived proteins, which are complete proteins. You can try to be a vegetarian, but you're going to eat too much fiber, you're going to have too many carbohydrates, and your body will get inflamed from all the excess fiber. Fiber is very, very good, but too much of a good thing always has its effects. So you want to give your body all of the essential amino acids, all of which are present in the animal-derived proteins. I wish we didn't have to be meat eaters. I wish we did not have to sacrifice all of those beautiful animals so that we could be strong and healthy, but that's just the way it is. I've researched the science for many years, and I can tell you that we humans definitely need those all 9 essential amino acids present in animal tissues. All right, so there's all kinds of health issues that come up when someone doesn't get enough of the protein. Now, as far as carbohydrates go, then we need the whole food grains, the beans, the legumes, the root vegetables, all of these wonderful complex carbohydrates. They're called complex because when you ingest them, these long chains of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms that compose these starchy, foods, your body has to break them down to the most basic fundamental sugar, which is glucose. So eventually, through the digestive process and the absorption process, once the molecules get small enough to pass through the intestinal walls and into your bloodstream to be distributed all over the body, then you're going to experience an uptake of energy and the augmenting nutrients that are in these whole foods, like the vitamins and the minerals. And if you're eating a lot of fresh foods, then you're going to have the raw enzyme active, light energy frequency active kind of energy that transfers into your own cells. We are electrical light energy beings. We need that light. That's why I encourage people to get a few minutes of sunlight every day at the minimum. And so your body transforms this biochemistry in response to what happens out there, and you're eating your whole foods and you're getting all of your nutrients. So our bodies need a synergistic compilation of all of these nutrients together in one place. Your body has multiple trillions of cells, 39 trillion cells to be exact, and each one of those 39 trillion cells performs multiple trillions of processes every single second you're alive. I know I've probably said this many times before, but I really want to give you an idea of what it takes to maintain your wonderful, amazing human body. All right, so it's vital for a correctly functioning pancreas. Every organ requires all of these array of nutrients. Now, your pancreas is no exception. This is the organ that secretes the hormones into the bloodstream to either remove excess and hazardous blood sugar levels or replenish low blood sugar conditions. So if you haven't eaten in a while, you start getting lightheaded and shaky and start feeling tired and sleepy. That means that the pancreas is going to work to infuse the blood sugar that's in your tissues and direct it back into the bloodstream to give you a pick-me-up. So sometimes when people, feel like, oh, I haven't eaten in hours, I'm really bogged down, I'm tired, and I can't get my work done, and it picks up after a while. They start feeling better because their body's infusing, the pancreas is releasing more of the blood sugar back into the brain. The brain needs glucose. That's the energy fuel that it uses to function. And of course, your cells, all of your cells, all the work that they do requires this kind of glucose energy as well, among other things. So, the regular presence of these viable active minerals, vitamins, enzymes, and light energy active whole foods from our wonderful plant kingdom determines how well the pancreas and all your other organs perform its critical blood sugar regulating functions. Therefore, the optimal forms of our foods are the key to optimal health, vibrancy, and whole system performance. So at the microcell level, getting your carbohydrates broken down to the glucose level so that it enters your cells and gets the work done to provide energy. So our bodies work very hard to constantly produce the energy required to make the whole entire system function. All right, so with sunlight and a physical direct connectivity to the energy active earth, which is always energy frequency active as well, if you're a tree hugger and you go barefoot in the park and you swim in rivers or lakes or oceans, if you like to splash around in the water, then you're getting an infusion of what are called negatively charged ions. Your cells uptake these negative ions and uses that to do the work your body needs to stay alive. So it improves your body's electrical current that activates its magnetic field, which is scientists have found that extends about 6 feet from your body. So your body is activating this toroidal field of magnetism and electrical energy all the time, from up, down, up, all the time. It's like a toroidal effect. So, and this is, happening at the macro level, but it's also happening at the microcell level. Your DNA is also a little toroidal effect. Just the spiral DNA is also creating this kind of effect. So that's what it means to be alive and healthy. So consuming whole foods, which own living cells, still contain those active enzymes and light energy transfer potential, is foundational for correcting diabetes and many other abnormal health conditions. So by abnormal health conditions, according to Linus Pauling, two-time Nobel Peace Prize winner, he discovered or proclaimed that 99% of health issues are because of nutrient deficiencies. And over the 47 years, I have been researching and learning all the time how the body works and learning how these wonderful botanicals on earth contribute to our health. So as a result of all of this peer-reviewed scientific research that has been conducted throughout the whole world, so seeing how all of this science can help the body improve its own functioning. So I'm not a medical doctor. I don't prescribe, treat, or diagnose, and I don't, I can't proclaim that I'm going around making claims that anything can heal anybody. But there's a fine line there, right? Your body needs nutrients in order for your trillions of cells to function optimally. And that's all I'm going to say about that so that I don't get removed from YouTube. But anyway, even though we can't say things out loud, it's like, okay, someone's got to stand up and say it out loud, but you can't do it on YouTube. I say it all the time outside of YouTube. But, that's the facts, the scientific facts that can't be ignored. It's been proven and over again. And not only that, our science is only, a couple hundred years old. Our serious scientific methods and ways of finding out factual information about any subject that scientists study, including nutritional physiology. So, we have to take that seriously, especially when you take that science and you apply it to your own health. And you, like I've been studying botanicals for decades. And so every time I've suggested some of the botanicals for what the scientists have found that help correct certain conditions, right, in the body, when people try it, then they get the same results as the scientists do. And yes, their body gets healthier. Their organs start functioning more correctly. So, it's all a matter of semantics. How are you going to word this? And, what are the implications? I think you can read between the lines of what I'm saying here. Okay. But so consuming whole foods, with their own living cells, they contain those enzymes and light energy transfer potential. It's foundational for correcting any condition, including the type 2 diabetes. So with diabetic conditions being no exception, a balanced, optimal nutrient daily intake shown in this protocol, in this issue, is intricately studied by scientists throughout the world, and it should provide a high level of confidence for resolving how your body utilizes sugar and the right types of sugar. You don't want the refined stuff because that's what causes many of the problems in the first place. So under the highly nourishing conditions that I'm going to allude to here on this video, then reversing a diabetic condition is, according to the scientists, probable. It's an opportunity to experience just how well the science matches your own results out there. So this brings to mind the sound position that a highly nourished person literally holds the light and in their cells, and at the macro level, they'll be more luminous the healthier they are, and they'll be more attractive to people. There'll be something about that person that they just love being around, and it's their positive, literally, their positive energy. So you can be your own best healer. You know your body, or at least you understand how it responds to things. You're the most intricately connected to your body. So when you give the body all of the known essential nutrients in the right forms, then your body's going to respond. It's going to get to work right away and start correcting things in the system. You may not see results right away, but just know that these nutrients are at work. 37 or 39 trillion cells, your body's going to get around to fixing things eventually, if not sooner. So a successful recovery brings about feelings of joy and the uplifting of the human spirit, which is where humanity belongs. I am so, so sorry that people are out there suffering and still are so sick and don't know where to turn. I don't like to have them go through that kind of desperation and hopelessness. This is the only way to get better. And I have witnessed this over and over and over again for 47 years now. Okay, so now I want to move on to just describing briefly, of course, if you're a member of the True Health Mastery Institute, then this newsletter is free to members. But I'd still like to get the word out to the public so that you out there who have not become members yet still get the benefit of a lot of the research that I do. And I'm summarizing it all for you here. So I'll go over how to join if you'd like to join as a member to get the bi-monthly newsletter that is free to members. But for now, let me just go over some of the things that I highlight for this nutritional protocol. So first of all, you want to, and this is something that I've always told my clients over the years, that be aware of the side effects of your prescribed drugs. I'm not going to get into drugs. That's not my area of expertise. But what I do is I look up the side effects at the Medline website, medline.gov, I think it is. And you can look up any kind of prescribed drug that you might be taking, and always look up the side effects and make this known to your doctors. Sometimes doctors don't have time or just aren't interested in the side effects. They're seeing patient after patient after patient, and they're really pushed to get as many patients in as possible and prescribe as many drugs as possible because they do get paid from that, from what I understand. So rather than, just delving on the negative side of things, let's go ahead and just be aware that any drug that you're taking has side effects, okay? So they're not nutrients, and so they're not going to be utilized the same way, but they are going to have very immediate effects. And sometimes that creates a cascade of problems when the body detects that it's not a nutrient, okay? So yeah, I'm not going to name the drugs. This is easily obtained if you do a quick search on drugs, prescribed drugs for any ailment or any kind of condition. So you'll always get a list of the drugs that are typically prescribed. So that's I do list them in the newsletter for the members so that they can take a look at it. And I also provide the links to the Medline Plus website. It is medlineplus.gov, by the way. And so you can look up the side effects of any drug, but I do list them here in the newsletter that I cannot present on YouTube. Okay, so as far as dietary recommendations, which is the foundation, the most fundamental thing you can do to help your pancreas function better, and the science is very, very intense on all of the research they've done to to find out all of these botanicals, our plant kingdom, and all the huge array of phytochemical compounds that are in these plants. And these are everyday foods sometimes, sometimes they're more exotic herbs from other lands, but you can get just about anything on the internet these days. So, anytime I mention any kind of exotic food, I look it up and there it is. You can buy a supplement on it. But be careful with supplements. You have to know how they were processed and you have to make sure if they're going to be effective. But yeah, whole foods are the best foundation. Anything else is supplemental. That's why they're called supplements. So if you want to improve and correct your glucose metabolism, your blood sugar metabolism, how your body breaks down carbohydrates and uses the glucose, for diabetes type 2, this is what the scientists have found. So, I've been advocating this very thing. My own nutritional synergy system covers just about the full array of all of the known essential nutrients, plus all of the 25,000 or more phytochemical complexes that are in our plant foods that have been shown to be so beneficial, for balancing the system and helping the organs improve their functioning, including the pancreas. Okay, so choose organically grown foods. Please don't consider the fact that, yes, they're about $1 or $2 more expensive, sometimes less, sometimes more, but it's better than letting your health deteriorate to the point where you have to pay thousands of dollars in medical bills. That can be so devastating. And the longer you go without being properly nourished and the more deteriorated your health becomes, then you'll be hospitalized. You'll be put on all these medications. You'll get all these side effects. And so you won't be able to be healthy in those conditions. The system's not made that way. Okay. It's changing, thank goodness, but very slowly. And so meanwhile, here I am in the background for the last 47 years, teaching people how to nourish their bodies completely and correctly, according to the science and according to ancient healing healers. These botanicals have been used by humanity for thousands of years. So it makes our medical system and even our scientific research very, very recent by comparison. But I'm glad the science is catching up to what these indigenous healers have known for generations upon generations upon generations, right? So, yeah, now, though, you don't want to choose foods that are not organically grown because they're sprayed with toxic pesticides. And those pesticides, I've done the research and produced videos and books and articles on this subject. The toxic chemicals that are used in traditional agriculture, food production on a massive scale, have been shown to have health consequences as well. Now, there's a video on this channel that explains all that very clearly. So yeah, subscribe to the channel. That one's free. And this channel is free. So that way and tap the notification bell and press the like button because we need to get this information out to the population. And that's one way to do that through this channel, So the plant phytochemical compounds, also known as phytonutrients, are known to improve pancreatic and insulin regulating function. So insulin is the hormone that the pancreas produces to take out the blood sugar out of the bloodstream. Now, the body can resist that sometimes. It's called insulin resistance. But these botanicals and the very absorbable plant-derived vitamins and minerals actually help improve that process. So, and then if your body is low in blood sugar, then the hormone glucagon is secreted. And so that will infuse a lot of the glucose back into the bloodstream to elevate your energy levels. So it works back and forth. The pancreas is monitoring the system all the time, and hormones are the police force. They always detect imbalances. So yeah, altogether you can improve how your pancreas functions and its insulin regulating functions. And when you choose foods and you choose organic, or at least in the animal kingdom, you want to choose the grass-fed, pasture-raised. They may not have gone through the intense certification process to put the USDA stamp on their foods. But when a company is either working on becoming certified organically, or they are just, they have a lot of ethics, they want to produce healthy foods, they care. So that those kinds of foods are slightly less expensive than the organic, but they're probably just as good, right? So you want to pay attention to make sure that the animal-derived foods you're buying is are not shot up with hormone drugs, given antibiotics. So these are sick animals. If they're not treated properly and if they're not nourished properly, they're going to be sick too, and they're going to be lacking the nutrients your body needs, and you'll be ingesting all of these toxic chemicals that are infused into their bodies, right? So that's why organic is so much better than. There's a video on my channel here that explains why organic is so very important, not just for your health and the animal welfare, but also for the earth, because we do not want to keep poisoning our planet. It's been getting into our water sources, into our bodies for several generations now. Okay, so we need to reverse that accumulation of toxic body burden that is passed on from generation to generation. Okay, so that's a whole other subject. And of course, you want to include the whole carbohydrates, like I mentioned earlier, the root vegetables, the beans, legumes, 100% whole grains. When you buy a grain product, look at the label and make sure there isn't any toxic ingredients in it. And the only way you can ensure that that is going to happen is if you buy an organic product. Okay. So you'll be healthier. You won't have to eat as much either, because you'll be that much more nourished, and it all balances out financially. You know, you don't have to buy tons and tons of food to be optimally nourished, and that's what's so great about eating clean foods. Okay, animal-derived fats, plant fats, balance your plant fats with your animal fats. Refrigerate all of your plant fats. Don't buy the oils. Don't buy the seed oils. Those are the wrong types of omegas. You don't want an imbalance of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acid ratio. So you want to buy the plants and seeds that contain higher amounts of omega-3s. Okay, and this is a review for a lot of you. I realize that, but those of you who are still new and still need a review, this is a lot of information. You can't possibly be expected to remember it all, right? That's why I wrote all of the books that I'll introduce to you at the end of the video. So, and then you have to go into the plant kingdom, your leafy greens, your herbs, your fresh herbs, all of the culinary herbs. They're medicinal. They're very important for cleansing the body and maintaining the balance as well. So there's a ton of foods in that category that I list in the newsletter that's available, this newsletter, but that kind of detail is available to the paying members, of course. So spices, all of your spices, your dark leafy greens, those are the superfoods when it comes to protecting your body and helping your body produce energy. All of these plant foods help your body in the energy production process. So they bring up your energy, right? They cleanse your body. When you have a cleansed body, you're going to have a lot more energy, and your moods are going to be elevated because they have a positive effect on your hormones. Vegetables, the anti-cancer vegetables that have been found, like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, all kinds of other things that I list here. And raw fresh fruits. Oh my goodness, if you're ever craving sweets, have a piece of fruit, and your minerals and your vitamins that your body needs, the high water content, phytochemical complexes, they'll satisfy your craving for sweets. So, if you want to stick to your cookies and all the things that contain the bad ingredients, have a piece of fruit first and see how you feel afterwards. You'll be less inclined to stuff your body full of the bad refined sugars, which contain the bad fats as well, and the toxins, So there's all kinds of a downward spiral in that direction. But if you stick to the freshly harvested, freshly slaughtered, kinds of foods, your body is going to be that much stronger. And I haven't been sick in decades. I forget what it's like to feel sick, because everything that I learn, I apply to myself, all the berries, that kind of thing. So, you can juice if you if you're not inclined to fit all of these different things into your diet. So there's a lot of ways to fit the plant kingdom into your daily diet, and make sure that you eat them. Buy them with the good intentions, and don't just let them sit there in the refrigerator getting old and rotten. Although organic foods last a lot longer. And if you put a lot of these things in a container of water, your vegetables and your herbs, things like that, they'll last a lot longer. Change the water out every couple of days, 2-3 days, and your vegetables will stay crisp and really delicious, right? they'll retain their nutrient value. Okay, so there's a lot more detail in the newsletter here that I'm going by today, but I gave you a really good overview of the kinds of foods that will help balance your blood sugar, improve how your pancreas works, and its insulin regulating functions. Alrighty, so I also have found some research on the different types of herbal teas that improve the pancreas dash insulin functions. There's single herb teas, and there's a diabetes tea complex that a group of scientists have put together. So a lot of them have their scientific names, and there's just like 20 of them. So what I will do for you, this wonderful audience that's tuning in, is the single herbal tea. So mulberry leaf tea, the chamomile flowers tea, the Roman chamomile. These are the ones that have been studied by the scientists. And also a plant called Gynostemma pentaphyllum leaf tea. They don't list the common name, these scientists. They also list the Latin scientific name. So anytime a scientist throughout the world wants to study further anything that other scientists have studied, then they know which plant to identify correctly, you know. So a lot of plants have variations and different types of species within a plant category. So you want to make sure that you're buying the right herb that these scientists have studied. Also, the yerba mate tea leaf has been shown to help improve the pancreas insulin functions. And the Kothala himbutu root sounds like a beautiful African root. I've never heard of it. If I saw the common name, I might recognize it, right? So anyway, they use the root and the stem on this particular plant, and also the Puta fruit tea, which is also known as bitter melon. So you can make a tea out of it and not just cook it in a soup or something. You know, you can make teas out of just about anything. So you want to extract the nutrient compounds that will help your the pancreas insulin functions. Okay, so proper hydration, that's so important. You've got to be optimally hydrated. Speaking of hydrated, I've been speaking a bit. I'm going to take a swig of my wonderful purified spring water infused with the light energy frequencies of love and other positive words and vibrations. I sing to the water, and I hum, and I expose my water and my plants in my home to beautiful music. And that's been shown scientifically to help improve the structure of water in your body and also in plants. So yeah, it's not woo-woo. It's something that you can practice all the time. All right, so hold on a second. I'm going to take a nice, beautiful swallow of my wonderful water here. Nothing more hydrating and wonderful than the right type of structured water. So proper hydration, you want to be optimally hydrated. Place a glass of water next to you and drink it all day long. You know, you don't want to drown yourself in water, but you want to have enough so that you stay hydrated, because your body perspires all the time, whether you feel like you're sweating or not. Your body evaporates a lot of its moisture, and you can become dehydrated in a short period of time if you're not constantly replenishing your trillions of cells, which they need water. They need for their structure and their detoxification, delivery of nutrients, and oxygenation, because water is H2O. That oxygen molecule is very important as well. So, you know, not just deep breathing or exercising. So, yeah, staying hydrated. Don't be in a state of chronic dehydration. All right. So choose purified water that's derived from underground springs instead of choosing minimally filtered tap water, which you buy at the grocery store, and it's cheaper than the other purified spring waters that you can buy. But it's not the same water at all. Its structure is not hydrating, and it hasn't been completely cleansed. It does not filter a lot of the pollutants. They have to be, if you have a water filtration system at home, the Berkey micro water filtration system will cleanse polluted waters down to the micron level, which is extremely small. Many of the pollutants that are out there are at the micro level that a lot of these water purification systems, these plants that produce these filtered water, at a cheap price. They do not filter out many of these pollutants, nor do they filter out many of the drugs that we find in our waterways. So, you want to make sure that you're absolutely drinking cleansed water and not polluting your body further. Okay. I would never advocate drinking tap water, and I never advocate drinking distilled water, because distilled water is completely structured so wrong that it can't even hydrate you. And all it does is just leach away a lot of the minerals that are in your diet. So it's hard on the kidneys, all sorts of things. So I do have a video on water on this YouTube channel. So please go there and take a look at that. Okay, so as I said, the Berkey water microfiltration system, you can find a link to that on my website. I'll show you around on my website shortly here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, synthetic chemicals and also heated oils, all these hydrogenated fats, they're called trans fats. Heated oils are trans fats as well. The molecular structures have changed so that your body can't use them. They're just plasticized fats. Margarine, partially hydrogenated fats, shortening, fried foods, sauteing foods in the wrong oils or any oil at all. You can't heat any oil. Use the oils for salad dressing and pour them, cold into your food so that you can enjoy them fresh and active and in the right molecular form that's actually beneficial for your health. Keep away from all that processed, refined, concentrated sources of sugar. It's so addicting, and it's just like, something like heroin or something. It's very, very addicting and very, very draining of your body of nutrients. Things like sucrose, the fructose, the high fructose corn syrup, the imitation syrups, the artificial sweeteners, also refined grains, the white flour, the polished white rice, enriched flour products that are in your breads and sweets and pastas. So stick to the 100% whole grain pastas and wonderful, products. So if you stick to the organic foods, then you'll have that much better nourishment, and you won't have to worry about the horrific degenerative effects of these refined sugars. Okay, so carbohydrate drinks, energy drinks, I have a video on that too. You'll be horrified. Those of you who are taking energy drinks, you are destroying your nervous system and taxing all of your organs. So please take a look at that video on this channel. Bottled fruit juice. People who are diabetic are afraid to drink bottled fruit juice. There's a lot of sugars that are added to many products out there, but just eat the fruit. The enzymes, the light energy active cells and the purified water, it has not been heat processed like so many of these fruit juices have. So you have the enzymes. So these live viable foods is what your body's looking for. And you can eat a fruit or, a couple of pieces of fruit every day. And the kind of sugar that's in the natural fruits is just the glucose. Okay, your body can break that down immediately if it's got a sucrose molecule one step away from the glucose that is in the fruit. Not to say that you should eat a little bit of white sugar, which is the sucrose, but that's different. Okay, the molecules are completely different. You can call it the same thing, but it's not going to be the same molecularly. All right, so I tend to go off on these little tangents because there's so much for you to learn, but stick with me and look at all my videos, read my books. I have poured my heart and soul into these books to make sure that my system is portrayed to everyone so that they can enjoy the optimal health vibrancy that I've seen happen, that I've applied to my own health. And it's just amazing to watch your body go to work and improve your health once you start nourishing it properly and completely and correctly. Okay, so stay away from genetically modified organisms. These are transgenic organisms. They cross the genetic codes of different species and they put them together into an organism that supposedly is going to repel the pests that consume the sick non-organic crops out there. So they're constantly spraying pesticides. They're altering the genetics of the plants so that they supposedly repel these insects. Those kinds of insects, they go in, their job in nature is to destroy destroy and eat the sick plants. That's their job. So if you have a healthy soil and you're growing your foods organically, or if you're buying organic foods, you're not going to have those kinds of toxins or problems. The plants are going to be so much more healthy. They're going to be higher in the essential nutrients. So yeah, you don't have to even worry about your health when you're eating that way. Okay, so avoid the pesticides, the herbicides, synthetic ingredients in your personal care products. Go through and try to buy organic products, personal care products. Visit the Environmental Working Group's website, Environmental Working Group, www.ewg.org, and look up any kind of chemical that is in your ingredients and see for yourself what the scientists have found on these horrifying ingredients. So, there's a lot of degenerative health in our population, and much of those conditions point to toxic environments and toxic products, especially if they're used over time. So the longer your body's exposed to these, the more accumulations of these things accumulate in the body and affect how your cells work. You know, all of your systems are composed of these microcells that are constantly communicating and talking to each other. So you've got to keep that communication channel open and providing the right information so they can communicate and it'll help your body eliminate toxic chemicals. All right, so all of these affects how your pancreas and how your other organs work together to balance your blood sugar. Okay, so diabetes, the scientists are always saying that obesity causes diabetes, and yes, that's true. But a lot of these pesticides, according to the scientists, uh, uh, also cause blood sugar regulating problems and affect the pancreas. Okay, so of course, exercise, I can't say that I could skim that over. Exercise is a vital component of maintaining your body because with exercise, you're taking in larger volumes of oxygen, you're increasing your circulation, your body's ability to detoxify on a regular basis without doing anything drastic. Okay, so exercise and getting sunlight. Sunlight is the key to helping your body generate the right hormones so that you can, regulate your entire system and let your body do its job to maintain itself. So the biochemical balance depends on your hormones. So being out in the sunlight, your body produces the right type of vitamins D, which is cholecalciferol, also known as vitamin D3. But I just did a video on the difference between taking a vitamin D3 supplement and going out in the sunlight. When you take a supplement, you can only take so much of it before it becomes toxic in the liver and taxes the organs. Whereas if you go out in the sunlight, you're going to produce 10 times as much vitamin D3, and your body will know exactly what to do with it, and it won't accumulate the way a supplement does. Okay, so taking a supplement is better than nothing, but going out in the sunlight, your body's going to produce much more, and you'll have stronger bones, you'll have a better balance of hormones, your immune system will be so much better, you'll look more vibrant. Okay, so if you can't handle the sun, then take in more of the plant kingdom because those phytochemical complexes protect your skin from sun damage. So people who have damaged skin from being out in the sun, they turn around and they put something on their skin that is more toxic than being out in the sun. So it's all about how your body is going to use these plant phytochemical complexes to protect and make sure that your skin does not get damaged when you're spending a few minutes a day in the sunlight. Okay, so the light-skinned people, that's taking more plant foods, all right, and you'll be protected. Doesn't mean you can be out there all day and get a sunburn. Sunburns are extremely damaging to the skin. But if you're living in a higher altitude or farther up north on the planet above the equator, then the farther north you get, then the more sunlight you're going to need because there won't be as much sunlight for your body to produce the vitamin D3. So, your body will store the vitamin D3 for a few months that it makes for itself. It'll store it under the skin and in various areas of the body where you have body fat, and some of the organs too. You'll find traces of vitamin D3 in there, but it's mostly in your skin that it stores, and it'll store it for 6 months. So you're good for the winter. And when the summer comes about, then you can go out in the sunlight more often and store up your vitamin D3. Okay, so exercise, like I said, it's a vital component If you don't exercise, then your body won't utilize all of these wonderful nutrients to the fullest extent in order to help your body get back to normal, get your cells back to normal functioning, and get yourself out of this downward, degenerative health spiral. Okay, there's a couple of warnings about certain diets. So you want to make sure that you're just eating a healthy, all-around diet, the foods that I outlined today. Now, my nutritional synergy system goes into that in much more detail. So those of you who truly want to uh, be so knowledgeable about nutrition and how to balance all these different food groups, all these different nutrients, then my nutritional synergy system is the book you want. And I'll show you my website in a moment. Okay, so there's a lot of supplements out there too, but pay attention to your diet first. And if you need a multiple vitamin mineral supplement, then the more whole plant food derived foods in the supplement, then the better off you'll be. I do have an organic multivitamin, mineral, enzyme, fatty acid, whole vegetable, fruit, herbal supplement that is fantastic. You can find that on my website too, and I'll just show you around in a moment. There are other augmenting nutrients, that you can add to your protocol, your diabetes type 2 health improving nutritional protocol. So, so being a member of the Institute and getting this free newsletter with the full detail, rather than just the overview that I'm providing here, is very, very important if you want to master your health, not just get healthier, but be so knowledgeable that you cannot be swayed. You cannot be tricked into some supplement out there that's costing way too much and is going to be very ineffective anyway. I analyze these things all the time. And 90% of the time, maybe more, 95% of the time, they're a waste of your money. So you have to know how to choose your foods. And in doing so, you'll know how to choose your supplements. So you can look at a product label and say, this is very inadequate. It only has a couple of ingredients in it. And sometimes the ingredients they have in these products, your body already makes these complexes, So if you nourish your body completely and correctly, your body will make all of these phytochemicals that you need, and you don't have to go out and believe someone who's unqualified, who wants to make a lot of money on people's ignorance and innocence on something that is going to be a waste of time. So just nourish your body completely and correctly, the way I've outlined today. And of course, with my book, there's much more detail in it. But this is enough to get people started and people going to improve their health. Okay, now I try to include not a lot, but every couple of weeks when I produce the newsletter, I include a very healthy recipe. Okay, so I do have a diabetes-friendly, organic, no-bake, high-protein kind of recipe. So you just throw the ingredients together and you blend it all together and you pat them all into a muffin pan, and there you have it. You refrigerate them for 30 minutes, and there you have a nice, solid, high protein, properly balanced carbohydrates to fats snack. Okay, so people who crave sweets or crave a little something extra, then this is a perfect snack to do that. So I can't give it away yet, but those of you who would like to become a member, then you are privy to so much more information, that I can't possibly cover all in one. I'd be here for 3 hours, every time. So I want to just give you a taste of what it's like to become a member of the True Health Mastery Institute. It's very affordable. It's a month-to-month thing. You can quit at any time, but I'm accumulating many videos on this channel that meetings that I've had with the members and other videos that I have produced even before I started the Institute last year. So anyhow, I just wanted to give you all a brief overview of the kind of thing you'll find in my True Health Mastery Institute's newsletter. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to take you to my website. Should be able to see that. Okay. So this is the book page. Actually, I'll take you to the home page. holisticchoices.com is the website. It's just an introductory of the kinds of things that you can do to transform your health, to master your health, become the master of your own health. It's possible. I've seen it happen over and over and over again, countless times over the years. So all you need to do is nourish your body completely and correctly, and it will happen. Might take a little longer. The longer you've been ill, the longer your health's been deteriorating. You can reverse that process because your cells are extremely intelligent. All of the information your body needs to restore itself, if it's highly nourished and properly nourished, all those instructions are in your genetic code, in your DNA, in that double helix. It's more complex than people realize, far more complex. There's more going on in your body than you realize. So anyway, if you'd like to join as a member, then you can go to the True Health Mastery Institute link here, and it'll just give you an overview of all the perks and the advantages of being a member. And if you'd like to join, you just click the join here button for $12.97 a month. It's going to be the best investment you've ever put into your life, of your health, and your future, and the future of all of your loved ones. Once you become the example, then you don't have to go around trying to convince anyone. They'll say, wow, you look great. How are you doing this? Just say, I practice what I'm learning. And, I always tell people I practice what I teach. I've been doing that for years, and I'm feeling fantastic at age 71. I don't feel 71. I feel 41. I think this is how humans are supposed to be. We're supposed to age much more slowly. We're supposed to be vibrantly healthy and strong, sound of body and mind. So that I want to get everyone else there. I want to get everyone else there. And it's not difficult. You have to desire it. You have to want it. And you don't do it all at once. Sometimes it's so overwhelming for someone who's been stuck, in their comfort zone, even if they are ill and their health is deteriorating. One little step of courage at a time, and it's very easy to do that. So, just go ahead and press the join here. And then if you're already a member, you can just log in right here. Okay, so I'll show you my books. So I've written 6 books, and I've got about 3 more in the works right now. So my nutritional synergy system is a 14 category system. So you choose foods from the various categories every day, and it's easy because a lot of them aren't the major part of the meal. They're things that you add on, like the herbs and the spices, the nuts and seeds and the butters and things like that. So it's easy to put together a meal that contains almost all the categories. And with every meal, by the end of the day, you try to fulfill all the nutritional categories that your body needs. And so you'll be fully and completely nourished automatically, but it's just by choosing foods from my system. I've been using it for decades, and I've seen health transformations based on just the food choices alone in here. So yeah, I even have videos explaining, looking inside the covers, not judging a book by its cover. I want to make sure people know what's inside my books, right? And I have a brief description of every book that I've written. So there's something for everyone here in all aspects of managing your health. So I'm always researching botanicals, and here is a book that I've written called The Potent Superfoods for Lifelong True Health, and it contains 109 botanicals and the scientific research showing what these botanicals do for the body. So a lot of them, it's been my own reference source too. I spent many, many months, almost 2 years, writing this book. And I'm working on a second volume containing even more botanicals. So, one project at a time, but it'll take time to get this out there. But in the meantime, I'm giving people bits and pieces of information on the botanicals required to work for the body to work on for specific ailments, right? Okay, alrighty. So you can look at the link Nutritional Synergy System that explains my system in more detail. You can just take a look at more detail about my system. Alrighty. Just pretty much it's just explore this channel. It's so much information, and explore this website. You'll have a lot of very invaluable life-saving information for your health. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you are, wherever you may be watching this video. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you so much for your interest. Please, again, like and share and subscribe to this channel so that I can get this message out there. The more people like and subscribe, tap that notification bell. You'll get notified every time I produce a new video. Life-saving, health transforming, educational, empowering information for your health and happiness. All righty. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.